It's been 182 days since Breonna Taylor was killed. The LMPD officers Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, and Miles Cosgrove still walk as free men 182 days later. On the night of March 13th, Breonna Taylor was in bed when police entered her home with a no-knock warrant and shot and killed the then 26-year-old. Breonna and George Floyd's death sparked protests around the world, most notably here in Louisville, where protests against racial injustice continue to this day.
I think two things are happening. I think one, they're playing the wait game. I don't think they thought that the protests would continue this long. And I think their original thought was that they could outweight the community. They just kind of underestimated us. I think that's one. And then two, I think that during their investigation, they have probably realized that the police officers made some really poor choices and made some serious, I guess, lack in judgment, and I guess just trying to figure out how they're going to proceed. I would think the goal would be one, trying to figure out a way to, I guess, share that information in a way that does not cause more outrage, and then trying to stay within, I guess, the limits of the law as to what they can do. Knowing that that could potentially create and set off another issue.
164 days after Breonna Taylor's death, Father Jacob Blake was shot 7 times in the back on August 23rd in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This once again sparked outrage amongst social media and America as a whole. Protests across the country started to gain media attention again. While most protests were held in the streets of Kenosha, athletes in American sports protested by boycotting their scheduled games, including those of the MLB, MLS, WNBA, and the NBA. This was Dr. Gregory's response to if Breonna's killers will be brought to justice.
I hope, that's my prayer, that they are brought to justice. But based the way the current system is set up and created and the way that they've went about handling this investigation, the likelihood of that happening is very slim. However, I have hope, so I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that they do the right thing and they end up on the right side of history, because there were clear violations in them not following their own protocols and policies. So with that said, there definitely needs to be some consequences handed out. So I'm hopeful.